Look at the weather.
It's beautiful here.
Non-stop rain.
Oh, man, it is a blazer out there.
It's cold and it's shivery.
It is cold.
Really coming down here.
I really enjoy your weather reports.
From the All Indiana Podcast Network, we're talking weather in a whole new way. From historical events to what's coming up, plus weather news, science, safety, fun facts, and more.
I like where this is going.
This is Weather Weekly. Weather Weekly with Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Marcus Bailey.
Episode 113. Good to be with you here. I am meteorologist Marcus Bailey with Wish TV in Indianapolis, Indiana, and we are on the last full week of February. Can you believe that? Just flying along here. Of course, it's been more April-like, not even March, but April-like. Many of the days that we've had so far this month, and I do think we've got another pretty decent mild stretch here over this upcoming forecast. But like the last couple of weeks, we're going to have some swings, and we've got a lot of action too in terms of rain opportunities and the wind machine kind of cranking up as well, which is not unusual when you're kind of getting into transition period here. I'm not saying that we're getting ready to flip the switch consistently to warm weather, but as you start moving into March and certainly April, you get some of these wild swings, and going from warm to cold, you'll get some action with some strong storms, maybe some snow, and certainly some big-time winds as well. So I know it's a little bit early in the game, but it seems like that's where we're at right now, and that's the pattern that we are locked into. We'll have that week-ahead forecast for the week of February 20th, 2023. That's coming up next on Weather Weekly. Welcome back, episode 113 here. It is the week ahead forecast for February 20th, 2023. Thank you so much, by the way, to everybody that has subscribed. I know there's a lot of new listeners, and I just want to acknowledge you and thank you for tagging along with us here on the Weather Weekly podcast. We greatly appreciate it, and hope you're enjoying the content here as we give you the forecast for the week ahead. Let's go ahead and get started here, and we'll kick things off on Monday, the 20th, 2023. Doesn't look like we're going to have any issues here. In fact, we're going to kind of piggyback off of what was a gorgeous Sunday across our area. And it is President's Day. A lot of kiddos are going to be off school, and it should be a good day for the kids to enjoy the day. You'll wake up to numbers into the mid-30s, and I do think we're going to see a little bit more in the way of cloud cover for your Monday, but certainly I will just say partly cloudy as we kind of go throughout the day on your Monday, the 20th, and there'll be plenty of sunshine to go around. I've got a high of 53 for your Monday afternoon. Monday night, then, we'll keep it partly cloudy, fairly quiet, and we'll dip down to a low of around 36. Tuesday, most of the day is dry on the 20th, or 21st rather, and we'll see clouds kind of increasing through the day. So we'll start off mostly sunny in the morning. Again, temperatures into the mid to upper 30s for the 21st on Tuesday. As we go into the afternoon, again, warming nicely. We get up to around 53 again for your high Tuesday afternoon. Now, by Tuesday night, we'll continue to see clouds increase, and I do see a chance of rain moving in by very late Tuesday night. Now, that's going to set us up for what looks like it's going to be a pretty soggy Wednesday, the 22nd. And I think that's going to be an all-day thing. Very mild temperatures as a warm front kind of moves north. And so I do think that we could have maybe even a thunderstorm possible. As it appears right now, I don't see any severe weather threats with the Wednesday system as it kind of moves through. Best chance for any severe storms probably going to be way to the south, down along, say, Mississippi and Alabama. But certainly some thunderstorms possible, and I do think the wind machine is going to crank up a little bit. And so could there be some gustier storms? Sure. And I think that could be any part of the day on Wednesday, the 22nd. But mostly just going to be kind of a rain event. There could be a few heavy downpours. And again, I've got a high of around 60 degrees as we head into your Wednesday. We'll probably have some of those rain chances carrying over into very, very early Thursday morning, the 23rd, but then we dry out pretty quickly. And I think the main story on Thursday, a couple of things. You're going to have falling temperatures through the day in a wake of a cold front that's moving through. And it's going to be quite windy. In fact, I've jotted down wind gusts as of now as high as 40 miles per hour. But if anything has gone to show how the forecasts have gone, we've done these early on in the week. These midweek systems, you get a little bit closer and you get some of these model runs to get a little bit closer to the event. It's been a little bit higher than that. So I wouldn't throw it out the window that we may not have a wind advisory type of day again Thursday. Excuse me. So something to be aware of. If you have a trash day on Thursday, you got some loose things outside. And it's going to be getting colder throughout the day. We've had some similar days like that the last couple of weeks when we've transitioned from the mild temperatures to kind of the chill. Now, I don't think we're going to have as big of a swing temperature-wise, but it's still going to be pretty significant. So I have Thursday's high at 64. And again, keep in mind, we're going to have some rain probably through mid-morning and then decreasing clouds pretty quickly. And so I think our temperatures are probably going to fall. You'll hit 64 probably after midnight, and then our numbers will decline throughout the morning, and then certainly heading into the afternoon, where we'll probably be spending a lot of the day in the 40s for the afternoon. Windy, so it's going to feel a bit colder than that. And just to kind of show you how cold this air mass is going to be, by Thursday night on the 23rd, we dip down to a low of 24. So waking up Friday morning, the 24th, you're going to have numbers into the mid 20s here. All right. Looks like as we head into the end of the week and into the weekend, Friday, again, like it has been the past couple of weeks, will be the cold day on the 24th. It looks to me right now that it's sunny, it's quiet, the winds are going to ease up a little bit, maybe a little breezy, but not as windy as what we anticipate for Thursday. So Friday's high around 40. I think you're clear from start to finish. So 20s in the morning, 40 in the afternoon. Excuse me. You'll dip down to a low of 31 Friday night. Gearing up for the weekend, Saturday the 24th. Again, looks pretty quiet for the 24th. So I'm going partly cloudy and a high of 44. Sunday, I do have a chance for maybe a brief shower in the morning. And if it happens in the morning, there could be a little bit of snow mixing in since we're going to dip to below freezing. A lot of that's going to be timing, and as we're recording this podcast a week out, just don't know, so far. But it doesn't look like there's a lot of moisture, so if it is snow and then maybe changing to rain, it does not appear to be a significant system at this time. So the 24th I mentioned, or the 25th rather, our high will be 44. On Sunday, the 26th, our high is 46, and then Monday I have a chance for rain and a little bit warmer on the 27th with a high of around 50. So it does look like we bounce back again to above average temperatures by the end of this 8-day forecast. Again, watch the midweek. That's when it gets a little bit active. Tuesday night, Wednesday, and then into Thursday morning. And got to watch those winds as well. But again, the first half, over the first half, most of this work week, this upcoming work week, looking extremely, extremely mild. Coming up, we're going to take a look at some of the February stats and how we stand. And we'll look at 8 to 14 day outlook as well. That's coming up next on Weather Weekly. Before we get to the stats and the 8 to 14 day outlook here, I did not mention before the break, rainfall amounts. And again, we think it's going to be pretty heavy rain here Tuesday night on the 21st through Wednesday the 22nd, which is where we'll get the bulk of the rainfall. Into Thursday morning, the 23rd. The projections that we're seeing right now, the 7-day precipitation here, which would end Sunday, February 26th. At 6 a.m. And again, really the bulk of our rain is going to come on that 21st, 22nd, and 23rd window, mainly on the 23rd. Anywhere between as high as 1 inch up in northern Indiana. We could see maybe as high as 2.5 inches down in southern parts of the state. Around the Indy Metro, I think we're between 1.5 inches and 2.5 inches. And the higher amounts will be around the farther south you travel. For example, on the I-70 corridor, 2.1 inches basically from Richmond, Indy to down to Terre Haute. So that's right along I-70. You go south of there, it goes around 2.3, 2.4. You get closer to the Ohio River, we're seeing some 2.4. You get north of I-70, you're kind of in that 1.8, 1.9 range. Bottom line, there's a lot of rain that we think is probably going to be heading our way. We'll keep you updated on that. But certainly, ground's still pretty saturated, right, from the rain that we've had the last couple of weeks. And so there could be some minor flooding issues. I don't think it'll be a widespread thing. The river levels are starting to get a little bit higher than normal. And so there could be some runoff to that. And we will keep you updated. Again, Wednesday is the day to look out for all of that in terms of heavy rain. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the extended forecast here. And I mentioned, getting back to the 50s as early as Monday, the 27th. It looks like we're probably going to hold there, at least from the national blend of models I've mentioned to those of you that listen. That's what we like to use. It's blending all of these projections together. And I like to use that a little bit more in the longer term. So the 28th, the last day of the month, next Tuesday, high near 50. March 1st, we open up the month at 56 degrees. And pretty mild, and overnight lows into the mid-30s. By the 2nd, it looks like we could see numbers jumping closer to 60 degrees again. So again, you get into the middle of next week, as we kick off the month of March, still looking relatively mild. Now, from the Climate Prediction Center, the 8 to 14-day outlook. So this will take you to the 5th of March, all right? Again, a very strong signal for much of the Midwest and the Deep South of above average temperatures. And for the month, or for the 8 to 14 day outlook for precipitation, it also has a very strong signal for high amounts of precipitation. So basically what this tells me is the pattern that we are in right now probably holds to where we're going to have some very mild stretches here, maybe some brief cool downs like we've had, but the overall pattern is fairly mild, and it looks like we're going to have, some decent precip chances. Now, whether it all comes out in one fell swoop, which has kind of been what we've had, right, where we've had some big rain around our area, doesn't necessarily mean we may not get it intermittently here and there. So something to keep an eye on. All right, some stats for you here. For the month of February, precipitation-wise, 1.84 inches of rainfall. That's on the plus end of 0.36. Since December 1st, 8.44 inches of rainfall. That is up 0.92. Snowfall, just a trace. We are down 4.1 inches of snowfall here for the month of February. Since December 1st, 5.7 inches of snow. We are down 13.6 inches of snowfall here. So we are, we're struggling in the snowfall department. But again, we've had our fair share of snow in March. So just because we're flipping the calendar next week does not mean we are done with snow. In fact, we've had our fair share of snow in April. In fact, I think it was only, maybe 4 years ago, that we had our biggest snow of the season in April during the high school basketball boys state finals. When we had our biggest snow of the winter season, or the snow season. Technically, it's not winter by that point, but of the snow season came in the early portions of April. So we'll keep you updated, but I don't see anything significant in terms of snowfall. But just keep an eye out on the midweek here with the mild temperatures, but windy conditions and maybe some potentially heavy rain on Wednesday, the 22nd. While you are here, make sure to check out all the other great podcasts, part of the All Indiana Podcast Network. You can catch our forecast for free on wishtv.com and the Storm Track A weather app. And of course, you can check out my forecast anytime, Monday through Friday, on Wish TV Daybreak, starting at 4 a.m. Have a great week. We'll talk to you soon, and God bless.
Discover more from Storm Track 8 Weather and Wish TV. Online at wishtv.com and when you follow Wish TV on Facebook. Plus, be sure to check out more great podcasts from the All Indiana Podcast Network now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.